girl. Life Force, Sacred Currency. Hey, precious mother love, one love of wellness, love plus art equals wellness. That is the channel that you listen to. And this is the next episode of Heart Happy Hour. I got a new contraption to hold my cell phone, so hopefully it'll hold you still for a minute. But it is the day after Friday the 13th. I wanted to get on here yesterday. I wanted to get on here last Sunday even, but ooh, life is moving so fast. Life is lifing. And it's beautiful, wonderful, and marvelous. I just wanted to share my latest discoveries. This is a science of self that I'm conducting. My latest discovery is in reference to the life force that's in us. Of course, you know we breathe prana, but it's also life force in our blood. It's life force. Well, you know, the kidney industry, they're getting the life force out of the blood when they do that transfusion thing or whatever that thing is that does. But that wasn't part of my research, because it just came to me that you know, if the blood actually has the life force in it, and our body is not processing or synthesizing it properly, then it seems to me like that's an industry that, you know, could be profiting from the life force that's in there. But I digress. Expanding. Okay, so sacred currency is our life force. That's what I'm thinking. I'm at the place now where I'm starting to want to activate the Kundalini, and finding new ways of doing it. And one of the new ways, or the newest way that I found to ignite, or actually did not know I was doing it, just found out recently that that's what I was doing. But when a baby is suckling on the teat, it actually is activating its is it colostrum, that the spinal fluid, the cerebral fluid that is a part of the Kundalini. It actually does have it kickstarts that cycle to begin, and that gateway effect. Or actually, I'm gonna get back out in traffic as I pulled over so that I could put the name of what we're doing today. I just decided it was time to do it. I pulled over and act like it was just an urgent item, so it must be an urgent item. I gotta get it out. So once the baby, so if the baby is suckling, and that's what initiates that colostrum to begin to circulate, going through whatever the open chakras. If your chakras are open, then if a suckling baby does that, and one love and wellness, everybody. If a suckling baby does that, then guess what? Sucking a straw would do it, sucking a cigarette would do it, sucking a cigar would do it, sucking a ding-a-ling would do it. I'm saying, I believe that when you are in the process of conducting fellatio, I believe that there is a starting of the same effect that a baby would get when they're sucking on a teat. The colostrum is beginning to be the body fluids, the fluids from the cerebral, are coming. They're motivated to move. There is some movement based on the suction, so it's coming from the top and going down. But then hopefully your chakras are open, not only on the way going down but on the way back up, and so therefore creating that, I want to say, macabre effect. Because if it's life force energy in that, in your blood, in your sperm, in your spit, in your earwax, in your snot, in your poo-poo juices, because it gets slippery when it's wet, right? I mean, that mucus, that all of these, all of those, our liquids that are coming from our body have life force in it to some degree, and some more than others. Sacred currency. This is my topic today. Sacred currency is also, so we have, not we, because I don't have one, but there are, I want to say 20 to 40,000. Is it 40,000? I don't know. I've seen various numbers. I saw 6,000 another time. So, but the number of nerve endings receptors and energy can be received as well as extended from the tip of the penis, or what used to be the foreskin. We have these obelisks that are around as monuments, and they all have a point at the top. And the point at the top to me is the hood or the foreskin in its form, before erection or whatever. But yeah, and that's another thing that, the foreskin is spiritual real estate, and I can't see what's going on. But I am driving, so One Love Wellness, guys. Welcome to Heart Happy Hour, Season 8. I'm Precious Mother Love, and we talking about some sacred currency, sacred real estate at this point, because if the foreskin, which there are many products that are made out of it, it's supposedly age defying. Oprah has a company that has that makes some sort of something for your face out of the foreskins. Hers is one of the more expensive products, and there are others that have these products, famous folks that put their names on stuff. But what I'm saying is, this is what they do with this particular piece of spiritual real estate, because our wisdom teeth, that's a part of our spiritual real estate. That's a part of our sacred currency system. It activates the pineal gland, the appendix, the tonsils. The tonsils are like the throat chakra gatekeeper. It not only has a receptivity of, let's just say, toxins in your food, but it also knows if you were about to say something toxic, or if something toxic is in the air around you. Apparently, the tonsils, the reason why they take them out, so that we would not be as receptive to, because it's a part of your immune system. It's a part of what keeps us, with the sensitivities of our body that senses when something is going on. You get the signs and the symbols and whatnot going on in your body. You break out, you bump up, you swell up, you get hives or whatever. But your system is out of whack if you get your appendix, your tonsils, your wisdom teeth. What else is it? I mean, we always cutting our hair. That's antennas. And it's not just what's on your head that grows. That's an antenna. It's what's on your knuckles. It's what's in your ears. It's what's in your nose. The hairs in your nose is not just for you to figure out. To filter out stuff. It's also to figure out stuff. Ain't that something? I said it and didn't say it and meant to say it after all. But this is our data collection. This is us. These antennas are out. They say, oh, his antennas went up. Oh, my antenna went up. Yes, you got antennas all over your body. Your eyelashes, the hairs that's in your ear, the hair that's on your ear, the hair that's on your chest. I don't have no hair on my chest, but a man, whatever the case is, not to say that the hairier, the more sensitive, but I don't know. If you tune into it, when the hairs stand up on your back, when you sneeze, when you get goosebumps, all these are sacred triggers within our body. That's part of your autonomic system, where it has its own sensory perception, and it's up to us to actually pick up on what is putting down. Oh goodness. One Love and Wellness, family. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I just had to hit you with a quick 2-piece. That's as much as I'm going to do, because I got to make some phone calls. But Love+Art equals Wellness, Heart Happy Hour, Season 8, Precious Mother Love. I'm doing some things, y'all. I'm connecting some dots, y'all. I said coming back from my sabbatical. You started this time last year. Oh yeah, quick commercial. This is why I'm into where I'm at right now. All this information that I'm spitting out. And I don't know if you know these things. Maybe you know these things. Maybe you haven't put it together in the same way that I put it together. But all these obelisks that's all over the world is nothing but the recognition of, it's a solar rod, it's a divining rod. This is the penis, that I'm talking about, the phallus, the obelisk. But the more I start looking at connecting the dots. I started a sabbatical last year in February, and this whole year is just now being over per se. I'm at the end of the end now. But the integration is like spilling over now. It's starting to bubble up. It's starting to boil over. I'm starting to have to, excuse some of the things that are coming up, that are boiling up to the top. And it's so much. I can only give it in chunks because, well, it's how. Oh gosh, let me just not try to say too much at one time. Now my mind going 3, 4 different ways at the same damn time. So the sabbatical it's at the end. Last time I was on, I shared with you that it was time to go back because I got a sign, a symptom. I pulled up on this one place. I said, if it's for me, if I'm supposed to be there, when my parking space going to be blah, blah, blah. And my parking space was blah, blah, blah. And right in front of me was a bridge. And right in front of the bridge was one of them little public libraries. I don't know if it was meant for everybody. Maybe it was just meant for me. Books show up for me like that. But this book, it was a book from my elementary school, marked, on it from my elementary school. This is the same place that we buried my grandmother at. We buried my father at. My father went to this school. My aunts went to this school. Some of my cousins went to this school. So for me to be out in the wilderness and pull up at a park next to a bridge and find these daggone books, marked with my elementary. One was Gandhi's autobiography, his experiments with secrets. The other one was by, I think, Dorothy Virtue. She's famous for some Earth Angels or something like that, a book. But this was for wizards, light workers, and elementals. Earth Angels, something or other, next level book, And so that's 2 of the books. I mean, that's all. That's 3 of the books. And then there was a 4th book that I looked at, and it had something to do with papal or religious. It was also a religious book. It had something to do with how popes train or something like that. How they train people. That's what it was. So I had asked the universe, I said, is it time for me to do my thing? Is it time to come back to Heart Happy Hour? And these are the books that I found. And so with it being, this stack of books, one of them being from my elementary school, where I took my first Holy Communion, and then it being where we buried my grandmother, we buried my father, I got lots of family that went there. This is the kind of, sign that how could I ignore? Like, this is telling me that if you asking for a yes, this is a hell motherfucking yes. Like, fuck yeah. Like, I'm sorry for the language, but yes, in every language. And so here we are. That's my first release. This is me getting into the integration of what's been going. I'm gonna take it straight because I don't know. I know I can go either way. So, but it seems to me like these chunks that I'm receiving, these pieces, these parts. The reason why I'm only doing them in chunks is because they're heavy, they're deep, and they're there are words in there that might at some point require sitting back on. So what I basically said in a nutshell, ooh, the nutshell is that fellatio is another way to get to the gateway, is another way for you to access your kundalini, is another way for you to charge up your battery for your macabre. Just saying, okay? So if that's the case, and this is, something I had to recognize because, I like what I like, and I like going to the gateway. I've been engaged like so many daggone times, it's crazy. So, it made me think, oh, no wonder you've been engaged so many times. You know, you've been blowing both folks' mind. And yes, there have been times that, folks who have had medical attention was almost needed in a couple of occasions based on their health and what was going on. So, but anyway, spiritual real estate, our life force, our blood, all of our liquids, every part of us. If we're this, if the Emoto standard is true, that what we're whatever percentage of water, and water can be spoken into, and that energy can be if you say good things, it could be beautiful results coming into the body. If you say not so good things, which, like I said, the tonsils is the gatekeeper. So for the throat chakra, it's the spiritual gatekeeper as well as the toxic. Anyway, I'm just saying, no need for me to drag it on. One Love and Wellness, love plus art equals wellness, heart happy hour. Precious Mother Love, season 8. I'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Peace. Let's see if I can, because I'm driving.